Hello and welcome back in Satisfactory. Today I'll be your guide on what to do when you first unlock oil, best ways I found to transport its products, and show/explain my implementation. Like and subscribe, and if you have a question, leave a comment. Let's go! To start with milestones, start with jetpack. Since 1.1 you don't need fuel to unlock it, and since it can use solid biofuel, it's a must-have. To be able to do whatever I do in this episode, the only things you will need are monorail technology, oil processing, and later on, when we get enough plastic and rubber, we will unlock petroleum power, which will be our final stop in the closed oil ecosystem. Once you unlock oil, you will be able to scan it, so go ahead and do so. And as you can see, it's pretty far from our home base. That's exactly why we are gonna be using trains today. But that's for later on, because we need plastics and rubber for that first. Another tip, when you are working with any kind of liquid in this game, it's the best practice to work downwards. Therefore, we will be using this platform I quickly built to accommodate everything. But don't worry, just to visualize, I will be dragging one of these, probably the pump back there, over this little pillar to show how to deal with problems if you need to drag it higher than the elevation of the oil puddle. So yeah, let's go wire it up. Good morning, pioneers! First thing we will tackle is elevation. As you can see here, we have quite the neat setup. So, let's begin from the beginning. Oil extractor has 10 meters of head lift. That means it can push liquids 10 meters high. How do you measure what's 10 meters high? That's exactly either 5 4-meter platforms, 10 2-meter platforms, or 20 1-meter platforms. So yeah, it's so simple. You just need 20 meters to know how much is 10. Or, easier way, you can use a pump. Pumps have this little indicator which you can see flowing up the pipe, and it shows you when it stops, and that will be our 10 meters. 10 meters only counts as the elevation, so it doesn't matter if the pump is here at the end, it will still end around here, which is 10 meters. I will try to show you by going back. Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't really matter that much how far we push it, because it will still be at that 10 meters. You may be asking, the oil extractor itself has 10 meters of head lift, and pump has 10 meters of head lift, so why does it still end in 10? Well, the issue is, the pumps don't really stack. If we put two pumps right behind each other, what will be the resulting head lift? Yeah, it's still the 10 meters. If we do it a bit more logically, and use the pump here, it will be 10 meters up here. So, if we use another one right after that, it will end up being like 15 meters high. Because they don't stack, therefore it only counts to the segment to the nearest pump, or the nearest point where the head lift actually ends. And since this pillar is approximately 50 meters tall, or 25 meters tall in head lift measurements, we'll be using 10 meters from the original source, which is the oil extractor, 10 meters of head lift from first pump, and 10 meters of head lift from the second pump. Make sure they are not pointing at each other, that would basically make this inoperational. Here's a picture from Satisfactory. Fuck. And here's why elevation sometimes causes problems with liquids in Satisfactory. As we demonstrated before, 1 meter of head lift, like head lift meter, is equal to 2 meters of world scale. Next up, the only thing about elevation that matters is where the pipe starts and where it ends. In this case, it's 22 meters. We have a water pump which has head lift of 20 meters real scale, and it travels 9 meters up. From this point, the water pump no longer contributes, and it continues as a sum of 20 meters from the pump and 9 meters where it already sits as like water pressure. Therefore, from this point onward, we have a 29 meters of real scale head lift, which is more than we needed, so it's good. This part can be taken as net neutral, because the same way it goes down, which is like 18 meters, the same it goes up, the 18 meters. Therefore, it is counted for the head lift as if it was a straight pipe. And that's exactly why this point, this little U, does not really matter, because it's as if the pipe from over there was connected straight there. Each of these pipes will transfer 300 oil per minute, and that's exactly what the machines require. Here you can see it's a very basic manifold with one thing that's different, which is this loopback pipe. It's there to load balance and make sure that everything is saturated. One thing to take care if you are using it, put it at the same elevation as the other pipes, so there is no prioritization. Next up, my setup. And I noticed you don't like Satisfactory modeler and schematics, therefore, joke's on you, here's a chart. We are extracting 900 oil, which we will be dividing in a ratio of 4:1, because we need much more plastic than rubber. Rubber will be mostly used for like crafting or construction, but plastic will be needed for everything from computers, chips, and similar. From that we have residual fuel, which we are then refining into normal fuel, and it will fuel our power grid once more, and our jetpack. Later on we will even try to use alternative fuels, such as turbo fuel, rocket fuel, and ionized fuel, but first we will need to find hard drives or research it. And now that you survived my chart, let's plug it in. So, and yeah, let's see if it will actually work and not blow our grid. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, don't forget to plug in your pumps. Another little tip, start your machines really low, so they start working, but they will be saturated before they kick into the full power. So now we'll just take a little bit of plastic and rubber to be able to finish our next milestone, and after that we'll be building the fuel power plant. This is the only way how to fail an IQ test. I had one job, get enough plastic. Either way, let's get 8 more.
Milestone reached. It is my honor and privilege to inform you that the fuel-powered generator, as well as the industrial fluid buffer, are now available. Due to a lack of gold in your sector, Caterium will serve as a suitable replacement to construct the fuel-powered generator. Your research into this element was valuable. In fact, you in particular are my most valuable pioneer, but don't tell the others I said that, it would be bad for morale.
Alright, milestone check, materials check, but where do we put them? As usual in Satisfactory, the problem solved itself. Let's continue. Next up, pipes. The last thing we need to do is plug everything into electricity and get all the products such as plastic and rubber out of the refineries, and our factory will be running smoothly. Cool, now that everything's done, the last thing we need to do is get the products home, for which we will be using trains. At this moment, I'll just quickly show the basics how they work, and we'll take a closer look into trains and overall transportation in the future. For now, I'll be using the most basic way of trains transportation, which is a basic loop. One where I load the cargo, and one where I want to unload it. For that to work, you need a station platform, which is this one in the front, and a freight platform, into which you can load or unload the materials from or to. Next up, all you have to do is connect it with the rails, and voila, you have your own roller coaster. On the platforms, when you want to load the cargo, it has to be set as load, and then where you want to unload it, which for me will be the station all the way back there, you have to check it to unload. Next up, you need a locomotive, and for each freight platform you need a freight car to carry everything. So, jump into your locomotive, open the train menu, edit the timetable, select the train station you want the train to visit, save the changes, and turn the self-driving on. And it's working. As you can see, we are on. I suggest going on like a little train ride even before you load everything in, so you know that your cart won't derail or that it will fail at the next station, so it won't stop or unload. For me, everything should be set up, so just enjoy it.
I listen to all my pioneers, often when they're not even aware of it. So due to popular demand, I have added a motivational message. Choo choo mother.
As you can see, these freight platforms. Well, fuck. So, we have plastic, rubber, closed oil ecosystem, and that will be all for now. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll go fix the power grid.